So here we are again, back by unpopular demand, and it's time at last to pay some bills, um, to pay our dues to some of those incredibly fiercely loyal Nightwish fans who like it when I talk about their favorite band, and to take a look at some of that music and look at some of those lyrics. And I've been looking at doing this song for a while now. The big debate, or one of the big debates in my mind, was whether to look at the official music video and the official album release, or to look at this live version of the song. And I think in in re-looking at them again tonight before I sat down, I decided that I have less to say about the lyric of this song than I have to say about the person singing it. And I have, in some ways, the thing that engages me the most about this song is the singer and the form of the song and this magical performance. And I guess to an extent, the reason why this particular performance was put online in February this year by Nightwish again. So, given that there's no surprise here, because the title tells you exactly what this is, let's take a look at Marko singing The Islander.
An old man by a seashore at the end of day gazes the horizon with sea winds in his face. Tempest tossed island, seasons all the same, anchorage and painted and a ship without a name. Sea without a shore for the banished one unheard, lightens the beacon light at the end of world, showing their way, lighting hope in their hearts, once in their travels homeward from afar.
Let's get this out of the way. As far as I can tell and pass from this poetic lyric, written, my understanding is by Tuomas, with the music in this case by Marko. The lyric is a lyric of hope. I think a lot of people might not think so. I think a lot of people might think it's a lyric of sadness and sorrow and loss. It talks about the end of the world. It talks about love lost. It might even feel like the old man by the seashore at the end of the day is giving up. But I don't think he is. I think the chorus says it all. I think this is a song about a hope and an exercise in hope, and if anything, a signal that no matter how traumatic the waters might have been and the journey might have been, there is a light at the end of the world, and that light is guiding you to safe harbor. I may be entirely wrong, but that's what I get out of this song. I think it's a song of hope. Obviously, what I'm becoming to know about the history of this band and the traumas and the evolution of the band suggests that, Tuomas wears his heart on his sleeve and writes and sings about the things that matter to him. But I do think he's a deeply human man, and I think that ultimately, as he journeys through things, he encourages other people to end their journey in the same way as he has, at a place of refuge and a place of hope and a place of anchor. So, principally, that's the lyric for me. We'll talk about it a little bit more. But what I particularly love about this version of this song is this man. I mean, how can I not love a man with a double neck guitar? I'm a Rush fan. The double neck guitar is a part of my DNA. Ever since I first saw Geddy Lee hauling one across the stage, the double neck guitar for me has been the symbol of true musicianship. And then we get Marko, a man who I have seen howl and growl and perform at the most symphonically heavy metal best. And here he is doing this lovely, it's not quite a lullaby, but this lovely almost sea shanty in this incredibly mellow register, and doing it on his own at the middle of at the center of the stage, and doing it under the gaze of the adoring fans. Look at that. How perfectly did that work out? Doing it under the gaze of the adoring fans. Marko is gone. And that saddens me as newly come to Nightwish as I am, to find him leaving just as I come through the door, late to the party with a cheap bottle of red wine. It sorrows me greatly that Marko has left. It even more sorrows me the reason why, the dysfunction and the disarray that the music business is in, the 360-degree deals that basically do what the music business has always done to the musician, which is to exploit and to disempower and to enslave. So Marko's gone, and that's deeply sad, but it is fantastic to see and hear him sing this song, a song that musically I'm led to believe by the majesty that is the internet, a song that he constructed the melody for, and singing it just beautifully in this fantastic venue on his own for the time being, in a really, really surprising way. There's been a lot of textures and tonal changes in the stuff of Nightwish that I've come across. This stands almost unique among them, and I very much like it.
From afar.
What does he say here? Answers. Oh, is it here? Answers on a postcard, please. I'm assuming. I don't know. I have no idea. It's delightful, but I'd love to know what he's saying.
This is for long forgotten, light at the end of the world, horizon crying, the tears he left behind long ago.
Let's just say this. Long forgotten light at the end of the world, horizons crying, the tears he left behind long ago. It's a song about hope. People on the horizon are crying tears that he left behind. This is the light at the end of the world. It is the light of the anchorage calling you through the trauma that you're in to safe harbor. It's a song about hope. And what a beautiful chorus. I had barely heard this song before, and I can sing this chorus along with Marko because it's an earworm. It's sticky. It's beautiful and sweet and quite gorgeous.
Yes, he left behind long ago.
Lovely.
The albatross is flying, making him daydream. Time before he became one of the world's unseen. Princess in the tower, children in the fields. Life gave him it all, and now I know the universe. Now his love's a memory, ghost in the fog. Sits the sails from last and saying farewell to the world. Anchor to the water, see it far below. Rustle in his feet and a smile beneath his brow. This is for...
I say it again. It's a song about hope. I'm assuming that there's all sorts of literary references that I don't quite get. As someone who makes a living with words, I am not guilty of reading literature. I have never read The Rime of the Ancient Mariner. I've barely heard the song by Iron Maiden. I know that the albatross carries with it all sorts of connotations to sailors, both of good look and bad. I know that, this reference to the princess in the tower, the children in the fields. This is clearly the lyric of a man who has been through some stuff, who has experienced some pain and some loss and some disappointment. And we know from Tuomas's story that all of those things are true. This is a man who feels like he has lost, by this stage, as far as I know, a man who felt like he had lost his, if nothing else, his musical lover, his musical partner. But he's through it. He got to the end of the world, and then he lit a light so that other people could find the same refuge as him. And I have to be honest and say, I find that absolutely inspiring and beautiful. And I'm quite happy for you, in answers on a postcard, to tell me why I'm wrong and why this is a song about depression and suicide and loss. But I don't believe it is. I believe it's a light at the end of the world. And I think when you light something at the end of the world, when you create a lighthouse in the darkness, what's that expression? It only takes one candle to defeat all the darkness in the world. This is a song about hope, and it's sung beautifully, and it only gets better from here.
Saying farewell to the world, anchor to the water, see it far below, rustle in his feet and a smile beneath his brow. This is for long forgotten, light at the end of the world, horizon crying, the tears he left behind long ago.
Beautiful. Beautiful.
So long ago. So long
Beautiful. You should smile.
This is for long forgotten, light at the end of the world.
Holy shit, we spend a lot of time talking about how amazing Floor's voice is. We do, and with good reason. But when he shifts into that register, when he shifts up a gear in that moment, that is divine and delightful. I want to say one more thing before I let this thing play out, and before I spend some time with the amazing multi-instrumentalist and the beautiful singer and the amazing Viking double neck guitar player. I was going to do the music video version of this song, and I was going to do it for one reason and one reason alone. And that's because the imagery in that music video had that beautiful image of the man towing the floating ship behind him. And years ago, I read a very poor script about somebody traveling down the coast of Africa on a boat in the 1950s. And it wasn't a good script, and it never got made, but it had one beautiful image in it. And that image was this young man who joined the ship as a novice. And at some stage early on in the script, he staggers home drunk with some of the other sailors. And one of the old salts off the boat, drunk at night, up against the dock, leans against this big tramp steamer, and he manages to move the boat, this massive multi-thousand-ton boat, in its anchorage by just knowing where to nudge it and push it in the right place. And the young boy tries to do it, and he cannot move the boat. And clearly by the end of the film, he's developed enough saltiness, He's learnt enough that one night he staggers home drunk, and he tries and he moves the boat. And I've never forgotten that idea of moving the boat. In a weird way, that's why I started this channel, out of the desire to fractionally move the boat, to be able to try and find that point where I could just lean back against the old metal and flex and push and apply what small weight I have to the massive weight behind me and shift it even a little bit. And I think if we all try and move the boat just a little bit, we can do incredible things, and we can be better people. We can be kinder and better to each other. And I think we should try to do that. I think we should all try and move the boat. And I think to try and find a way of landing this, clearly Marko moved the boat. With this song here, he moved the boat. With his time in this band, he certainly moved the boat. And this is an amazing, amazing performance. And this is a glorious moment. And I'm sad that for the time being, at least, it won't be repeated. But yeah, move the boat. Try and move the boat. Lean back against the boat and see if you can shift it just a little bit. And if you learn how, tell me. Stunning. Stunning. That's just showing off. That's stunning. That might be my favorite moment. Of all the glorious, incredible things, that might still be my favorite moment. And it might just be because it has such incredible humanity. It might be because I miss Marko. But that is stunning. Godspeed, Marko. What is it? Go quickly, go slowly, come back quickly. As David Niven named his book. Go slowly, come back quickly. What an amazing, amazing song. Thanks for watching. Thanks to the Nightwish fans for their patience and their indulgence. Thanks to everybody else that comes along for the ride. Maybe I'll see you again soon. Until then, keep the faith.